Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while. Ooh, hold on. Let me turn down my... Oh, there you go. I think that should be a little bit better. I didn't realize I had I was playing D&D with my friends the previous night as of me recording this, and I didn't realize that I had turned my gain up because my mic was giving me some issues, and it was still up. So, I apologize if I blew out somebody's ears for that. But anyway, we're continuing where we left off. We're on to part 10 of chapter 5, the Pirates Group. Crossword King? Ha! Lucky for once.
Can somebody tell me why I constantly get locked up ever since I've known Vertin? First locked up in a suitcase, then a foundation cell, now this! Oh, what else could it be if Vertin weren't the jinx? Lads! I know what's going on! You got the wrong person! She is the most irrational number here! I'm knocked. What does it say here? Freedom will be granted once the proof is completed. That's to say, I have to prove myself not an irrational number to get out of here. Which is exactly what I've been trying to do, isn't it? Rat. Ugh.
Captain, maybe you're in the wrong direction. This apple presumes that the followers on this island have a close connection with Pythagoreanism.
Pythagoras? That ancient Greek mathematician? The guy who said something about the opposite side of a right triangle? Isn't he the guy who lives in sometime BC?
Maths is only a part of the Pythagoreans' achievement, but from a more universal perspective, they are a mysterious group of scholars. Believing things are made up of numbers, venerating integer numbers, abstaining from beans, and the religious collective lifestyle. These are all pointing to Pythagoreanism. The earliest Pythagorean school perished because of the discovery of irrational numbers, which explains their odium of it. At that time, a deviant student named Hippasus discovered root 2, and the theories based on the ratio of integers they hold dear were upended. Hippasus himself was drowned in the sea. This apple assumes they see the integers as the standard of virtue, and people can increase the number they rank through study and self-improvement. Besides, they are convinced that a numerical code is hidden in everything and everyone. Whoever can solve the code can obtain the truth of the world.
All right, now I know what's going on. This pirate has had enough of this moral standard, which is obviously prudish, backward, and lacks humanitarian spirit. I'm going to tackle the root cause of this misfortune. I'm breaking out!
Why am I not surprised? The captain quickly gives the sufficient and prerequisite condition to prove herself an irrational number. This apple may be able to offer some help.
What's happening? An earthquake?
All Abraxases are flying in the same direction. Is this their habit, or...
Ah! The roof is about to collapse! So far, this place has made the London Juvenile Detention Centre a heaven on earth. Oh, is there a piece of paper? Did one of the Abraxases drop this? Strange. The unsolvable puzzle. Is this a math problem? 0.4, 0.7, 1, 1.6, 2.8, 5.2, 10 and 19.6. 8 numbers in total are listed in this order.
There are 8 symbols below, respectively representing the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn and Uranus. Maybe it is a hint that we should fill the symbols in the blank box after the numbers. That sign says to complete the proof. Does it mean to solve this puzzle?
Ha! How unsolvable can it be? Clearly, each of these 8 numbers should represent one planet. We can easily find the missing planet by trying them one by one. And our Mr.ApPle here is the king of the Times crossword. Yes?
I think there is a difference between this and a crossword. In this apple's humble opinion, the ratio of certain numbers should match this number sequence, such as the radius, volume, or rotation period.
Wouldn't the sun be absurdly large if these numbers stand for their sizes? Hey! The underground critters are back! Go away! Don't touch my notes! It's not your food!
Alright then. Oh, I'm gonna love. It's a logic puzzle from what I can tell. Well, yeah, no, it's a math / logic puzzle. I have a rough idea. On what it is, but like I'm not entirely certain. Let's see. But my current idea is being that basically you would just need to what's the word?
No worries.
If my idea is right, you would use 1 will be the Earth.
Don't touch my fan!
I believe that's the most will be our basis.
Stop.
But that's not entirely certain. It just depends on what it is exactly that they're trying to calculate.
Stop it! They're just little games. Lights! Woohoo! Release! Professional.
Rotate and then
Are you ready
party
to
with
be
Regulus.
blinded?
Honestly, I
Are
think these
you
are
ready
the
to
ones that aren't too awful. Just because they
Woohoo! Release!
don't fight the way the other ones do. They could be wrong, but hey, we're about to find out. Okay. So that's that one.
They're
speed.
just little games.
And we'll do a follow-up just in case.
Form is a bubble.
Yep.
Left hand
These are
up.
the easy ones.
Now right hand up. Left hand up. Now right hand up. That's troublesome.
I think I was gonna say let's heal up, but never mind.
There's a nerve that could be found. Uh-huh. Time to check my calculation.
Let's heal up real quick. This is the fairies. Actually, hold on. Yeah, this is the fairies. Then, once we do that, heal up,
I'll be fine.
drop the beats
They're
regular.
just little games.
And I don't want to waste 37 NP just yet. Because, so what it does is it builds her gauge for Genesis attacks by 3. So,
Left hand up.
I want to trigger it
Now
once,
right
and
hand up.
then I'll use her.
Don't touch my bag!
If this works the way I think it should, we should just be able to do
Isn't
that.
it the final demonstration?
Her ultimate, and then
Are
we'll
you
just follow up
ready
with
to
Regulus.
be blinded? Oh, there's a bubble.
There we go.
Welcome to the world of numbers. Are you ready to shake?
Probably the best team to work with
Woohoo!
is going to be Liliana, I think. Let's see. We'll leap up real quick.
No worries.
Blast
Could be
them.
found. Oh, there's a bubble. Relax. I need some peaceful
There we go.
moments.
Oh. There's room for one more. I'll just look quick.
They are much naughtier than the
There we go.
Foundation's
That wasn't so
kids.
bad.
Hold on, please, Captain. Seems like the critters are trying to tell us something. They are pointing at the sign of the sun.
Is that so? Even the critters on this island know math. The sun. What if the sun is just here to serve as a reference point? I read an IAU's report in the Times 2 years ago. You know, the International Astronomical Union. Earth's average distance to the sun is approximately 93 million miles. As for Mercury, the average distance is 36 million, and Venus 67 billion miles. Let's say if we take the distance between Earth and the Sun as one astronomical unit, then the distance between the Sun and Mercury would be approximately 0.4 units, and Venus 0.7 units. There you go. These numbers are the ratio of their average distance to the Sun to the Earth-Sun distance.
The average distance from Mars to the Sun is about 142 million miles. Jupiter about 484 million miles. Saturn 886 million miles, and Uranus 1.786 billion miles. By rough calculation, and if we round the results to one decimal place, Mars would be 1.6 unit, Jupiter 5.2 unit, Saturn 10 unit, and Uranus 19.6 unit. That's weird. All these numbers one can hardly remember have become so clear in my mind.
But if these numbers stand for the ratio of distance, what's the planet for 2.8? There's no planet between Mars and Jupiter.
If the Sun is the reference, we will have one planet missing here. Is it really a puzzle unsolvable?
Aha! Nothing is unsolvable. You are looking at the solution. There must be one planet out there, unknown to us as of yet, located between Mars and Jupiter. What now? What is this? A celestial body, which I have never seen before.
Captain, this apple has an impression on this. There is indeed a star between Mars and Jupiter. It is called the Ceres, discovered by Piazzi Giuseppe, an Italian priest in 1801.
Ceres. Did we just validate its existence? Is the universe truly arranged according to this sequence? Could this be the ultimate key of everything?
Regulus! Regulus! What are you doing? Good food poisoning after accidentally eating one of those critters?
Odd. My head hurts. What was that?
I'll make it short. Stanetta is in detention. They're planning to sentence her to death by giving her the poisoned wine.
Hey, what?
Alright then, so yeah. If I had to guess, I assume they were trying to brainwash Regulus there. Kind of like force her into their mindset.
As you can see, this school on the island lives in a box made by the truth. Even if they have a donut in their hands when they are hungry, they still see a topological space. Like the cute ring attached to an initiation toy. It's not food anyways. But if you give them a puzzle, they will enjoy it like the best Kaiserschmarrn. Oh, my apologies. I was not talking about the one you are holding. No. With all due respect, that thing in your hand is pretty old. The mold on it seems to come from the 18th century, judging from the smell. I'm sure you know it will make you sick if eaten.
I gotta say, I kind of love this one. I gotta say, I love this characters. They got a lot of personality to them.
But we have to admit, it is not just ordinary mold. It reminds us of the story in which Once, a merchant's son looked up at the night sky and found the answer to the stars for us. The young man firmly believed that the movement of the stars and the sun follows certain laws, just like how the delicate gears in a watch work together. And his point was even proven correct by Zeus's grandfather. When another gentleman observed the sky through the reflecting telescope he took great pains to make, a celestial body was exactly there. What was it called? 19.6. The 8th number in the sequence, the 7th planet in the solar system, and the legendary God of the Sky. If the world was not created by God, are there any theories we can use to explain such a beautiful law? Yes, the one that says it never actually exists. Anyone can see the breach in this number sequence. That is the planet, which is supposed to be the 5th number in the sequence. I mean, how come we have never seen it before, if it does exist? Either God is wrong, or we've been blind all this time. What do you think?
That's honestly a tough question. Depends on where you believe. I am going to say we have been blind the whole time. Humans want to believe what they want to believe.
Yes, such a planet definitely exists, and as expected, it was discovered in the end. Yes, that's the Ceres. It only took that great mathematician an hour to find its orbit through calculation. Oh, what great astronomy! What great mathematics! What great creation! It was a beautiful dream, but it was still ended, eventually, by another discovery. The 8th planet. Not the Ceres, nor the Uranus, but a new planet. People found it through more precise astronomical data and calculation, proving that the number sequence found by the merchant's son was only a myth. Now we are clear of what we've been talking about. It's an unsolvable puzzle. It makes no sense from the very beginning. We found the Ceres because it happened to be there. It is real, and no one can deny its existence. In other words, we can perfectly prove the rationality of mathematics because we invented it. It's been a good dream, I suppose. Now, imagine that you are walking alone in the darkest valley ever, trying to drag your fragile body upward as much as possible before it is worn out. Hoarse cries squeeze their way out of your mouth to ask for a response from the gods. Suddenly, an afflatus dawns on you. The next moment, a miracle happens. You are already at the top of the mountain, witnessing the rise of a huge celestial body from the skyline. Even if it's only in your imagination, you have just witnessed the dawn of the creation, and the shock is real.
Let's say, generally speaking, people will try to see what they want to see. They don't want the truth. They want to be validated more than anything. But yeah, no. So, Ceres does exist from on it. Hold on. Let me fact check that real quick. But I believe, but no, I get what she's trying to say. Like, let's see. So Ceres does exist. It is a dwarf planet. I'm double checking that right now. So, yeah, but because like people couldn't quite analyze it as closely as they could, they were quick to disregard it. Eventually, people did confirm its existence and all that. But because it didn't quite fit the definition, they changed the rules. Sorry, because science constantly evolves. Eventually, Ceres did fall out of classification, and it became a dwarf planet instead of an actual planet. But that's just to show you, like I said, people want to be validated. They want to be told they are right rather than to hear the truth. It's gonna be just a story one, so I'll just mute myself for a little bit.
An old admonition is engraved here. Let no one ignorant of geometry or the irrational numbers enter. 37 told me you are the integers. She's the genius kissed by the god of truth. She can see our numbers and has never made a mistake. But I don't understand. Why would you break the silence at the meeting?
I apologize, Miss Sophia. I won't defend our behavior.
You may save that apology for later. If you can persuade more than half of the people to vote for your friend's commutation, perhaps she won't be sentenced to death. I have gathered some case files from the past. I hope it will be of some help.
These files are... But won't you be in trouble for helping us?
I have my own reasons. Integers are the living example of virtues, the standard of purification. It represents a soul existing in the world of forms, a true being. It is the floating points behind the decimal which dent the process of our overall purification. The evil. The ones who violate rules knowingly. The ones who turn a positive number into negatives. And a civil person, a criminal. If integers like you would lose your life over some unintentional mistakes, wouldn't it be a great shame? Besides, I can't stand the idea of you being killed in front of me.
Not rigorous. For one thing, we still don't know Vertinance and Netto's numbers. For another, the fact that every crow we've seen is black doesn't necessarily entail that the next crow will also be black. Even if every virtuous person we met has been an integer, we can't be certain that the next one will still be an integer. Same case for irrational numbers.
You're right, 37. But people always tend to believe that virtuous people are integers. That is what we call belief.
Correct, but not entirely correct. Everyone can make mistakes. Numbers are just numbers. They are not associated with virtues.
Unlike me, you're always right, 37.
I don't know what differs us.
Will you be at the assembly?
Yes.
Then I will leave them with you. I'm not qualified to set foot in the Hall of Truth. I have done poorly in receiving the guests. I will ask 6 for my punishment after the assembly.
Huh? So you are not coming back to my laboratory?
Neither will you help me review the calculation results or sort out the books.
The scripture shall not be challenged. What's more, any students here can help you in the laboratory. It doesn't have to be me.
Had I known, I would have let someone else welcome Vertin and her friends. Like 210. He loves to brag to young ladies so much that he would take the punishment willingly, right?
You were that someone else who was assigned to receive them in the first place. If I hadn't stopped you in time, how much longer would Regulus's head have stayed in your mouth? Not to mention what happened last time, and the time before that.
But the fact that I have messed up all the receptions before doesn't mean I may excel in the next one. The chances of messing up the first reception and the 100th reception are the same.
Whatever you say, you little sophist.
She's a nice person.
Everyone says so. But compliments won't help her find her number. So, Vertin, are you ready for the debate?
Does that mean you will help us?
Of course. I don't want to miss the chance.
What chance?
The chance to see your numbers. There's no greater knowledge than the knowledge of oneself. And there's no more exciting truth than the truth of oneself. I can quickly tell which types of numbers you are, but it requires proof to know the exact number of your soul. I want to know the answer before you see your own numbers. So it's 37 who proves it, not Vertin.
I'd be glad to give this chance to you.
That's boring. Let's go, Vertin. The assembly's about to start.
Alright then. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how is this going to play out, honestly. I can't get the feeling that Sophia might have her own intentions behind all this. She's not doing this out of kindness, and she's claiming to be upholding the island scriptures, but I don't feel like that's entirely the truth. She is following the doctrine, but I also feel there's more to it, like she has her own intention behind this. 37, I think it's just like, they are a smart person, but I believe they are a little bit ignorant of like reading people. Like, they can see like a person's nature and general identity, but like she's probably listening like the most, I won't call it the surface level stuff, but she's just seeing the wider strokes, not the fine details, if that makes sense. But anyway, part 12, route of a bird. Between the jar and the seat, it picks up pebbles, one after another. Are you alright?
Don't worry, Timekeeper. I'll defend myself. Back in the Foundation, I once won a public debate of a similar nature. This is my duty. I won't let it get in the way of the team's investigation.
Sonetto.
By our tradition, Miss Sonetto will be given the poisoned wine, so she will be muted and stay that way forever. However, Sophia raised her objection against the decision. After giving the matter some discreet thought, I have decided it is necessary to hold an assembly and take care of it democratically. Those of you who agree to the death sentence may remain seated. Those of you who wish to commute Miss Sonetto's punishment, please put your pebble into the pot in the middle of the hall. Now, Miss Sonetto, Miss Vertin, you may defend yourselves. Until the sand in this hourglass falls to the bottom.
I am Sonetto from St. Pavla Foundation. I wish all the honorable audiences here would lend me their ears to hear my defense as a humanitarian gesture.
What number are you? Defendant, the court requires an answer. What is your number?
What? Me? No, I don't have a number.
Don't waste our time. People without a number cannot stand in the Hall of Truth. All her words are void. Sentence her to death now!
'42's argument is valid. Defenders, what do you wish to contend?
What? It's valid?
Objection! According to the record, the last time we inflicted severe punishment was in 1980 to a visitor who ate beans. He ate a carbuncle that feeds on beans. Then he was sentenced to death according to the set theory. In our scripture, eating beans is the most evil sin, which undoubtedly fits the most severe punishment. But if we are now executing people for breaking the silence at the assembly, how would it reflect our attitude towards the consumption of beans? Has the latter become less sinful? I suggest Sonetto's punishment to be commuted.
A good argument.
37's argument is deemed valid. The debate will continue.
Objection. The punishment for eating beans is to throw the offenders into the Gorgon current, while the punishment for the silence breaker is to drink poisoned wine. Among all the punishments we have, there's no other punishment more dreadful than being thrown into the Gorgon current. Because eternity and infinity are the two things we have the least knowledge of, which makes them the most ghastly punishments among all. Giving her the poisoned wine doesn't make the consumption of beans less sinful. Her argument is invalid.
Objection! Both of the crimes would fall into the same category if we are taking the punishment as a frame of reference, which is death.
Objection. The two crimes in question are not commensurable, which makes your comparison invalid.
What's this? I'm completely lost in this irrational debate.
I see. So that's how it works.
Timekeeper?
Relax. I will help you.
I object.
Alright then. I kind of get where Regulus is coming from. The base idea
I
is
can't wait anymore!
not so much to
I'd like
win.
to start by quote, "People without a number cannot stand in the Hall of Truth." In that case, it's not possible for Sonetto to commit a crime in the Hall of Truth. Because she can't even be in the hall.
What?
Good point, Vertin. This is our chance to out-argue them.
So, sorry, I didn't realize there was going to be a line there. But like I was saying, so the idea behind this isn't so much that you want to prove them wrong, you want
They're
to just
just little
be the last one to
games.
say,
Woohoo!
no,
Release!
you're wrong.
Don't touch my... Stop me! They're just little games. Left hand up. Now right hand up.
And I
Left
did
hand
help,
up. Now right
Regulus quite a
hand
bit,
up.
honestly, from last time. I'm still missing some material, so I can't
These
pass
are merely
9,
clumsy
but
sauces.
For now, that's gonna
We've
work.
all seen her break the maxim.
Objection! What you see cannot be submitted to the court as a transcendental fact. It's nothing but the fragments of the phenomenal world which can't be used in your argument.
Objection sustained. Please, ladies and gentlemen, keep the debate logically consistent.
Since Sonetto has no number, and a person without a number does not exist before the truth, Sonetto thus didn't offend your truth. She didn't break any rules.
Stop me! They're just little games. Woohoo! Release! Rock, rock, rock! Change the world! Don't touch my bag! Start me up! They're just little
But yeah,
games.
no.
Left hand up.
I can understand why
Now
Sonetto
right
plays
hand up.
as logical and as
Right.
analytical as possible. Comfortable with this because this isn't about reason, just trying to say you're wrong.
Objection!
For the bell
The
strike.
rule breaker has a number. We can all tell that she is very likely an integer. Therefore, she should be identified as an unknown number, not void. Your sophism has failed.
42's argument is held valid. Is there anything else you'd like to add, defendant?
Tell you a secret, Vertin? We would call criminals negative numbers.
I got it!
But yeah, no. Yeah.
Start
It
me
makes
up.
sense that Sonetto would have
Are
trouble
you
with that
ready to
because
be blinded?
It doesn't follow
Release!
a logic she was raised to understand. In this case, it's not about logic, it's about just trying to say, like I said, you're right. When I'm right, you're wrong. And have the quote-unquote leader approve that logic. Wow, that was quite a lucky hand there.
Everybody, let me... Are you ready to be
This
blinded?
landed.
Left hand up. Now right hand up.
it is easy to prove Sonetto's innocence. According to the law of the excluded middle, Sonetto either committed a sin or committed no sin. The two statements cannot be both false at the same time. Since we consider a criminal as a negative number, and a non-criminal as a positive number, Sonetto at present is considered an unknown number. That means she doesn't belong to the criminal set, or the non-criminal set. She did not commit a sin, and did not commit no sin. It's a paradox. I hereby demand to modify the criminal sentence that has been given to Sonetto.
Hip hip hooray!
Okay.
The law of excluded middle. A good sophism. Good for you to create a paradox from one sentence of my argument. But pitifully, you've made a fatal mistake. You've taken my argument as the basis of your defense. I said people without a number should be expelled from the Hall of Truth. You don't have a number either, Miss Outsider. Based on my argument, which has also been approved by you, I argue that all your arguments are invalid.
There's no time left.
13 has a number. I saw it.
What? 37, do you know what you're saying?
Yeah, I read her number just now. 13's number is 0.
Alright then, we're gonna call it there for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Comment down below. What do you think this is gonna imply for Verd now that he's been marked as a 0? I know in mathematics, zeros is an extremely powerful number, despite it having by itself no real value. But yeah, other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, share the video, all that so you get more seen. More than anything, I want this game to be known by more people, because this is a really good game. I've already mentioned this a bunch at this point, but yeah. I believe more people should be playing this game. It's going to be a fun game for them. It's going to be a great game to share. Excuse me. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Remember, be kind. Let's create something new tomorrow. And see you all in the next video. Until then, this has been the StarBornFeline saying goodbye.